heroes? So who are the consultants? Okay, first we've got Engil. He's a robo-manshad with a violent temper. Well, he's violent without his temper as well. And he's got ties to gangland. Then there's Winter Angel Eye. She's a robo-manshad too, but she's a bounty hunter, and she's been taking out gangland faces ever since she was yay big. Next, Jeremiah Wagner. He's a shadow manvert conman, and a lucky bastard, and an absolute gobshite. Then there's Buzz Diptera, a robovert mathematician, biomechanic, and blurb fly jockey. And you know how they say pets start to look like their owners? Well, Buzz looks like one. Huge blurb fly looking weirdo. And finally there's T-Bone the Disco Spider. He's a dogman vert. He knows every conspiracy theory going, and he's put plenty of them into practice.
Ta-da! Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Dog Save the King here at Vurt, the tabletop role-playing game. We've got the consultants of Manchester, pretty far from home, over in the continent, in Olbia, which is the north eastern port city in the island of Sardinia, which is, again, just across the Tyrrhenian Sea from Rome. You guys had Vespas that you bought at the port of exit there, and you guys have spent very, very little time in Olbia after arriving. You waited around for quite a bit. There's a lot of pieces moving around, but where we left off last was you had been interrogating further interrogating, I should say, one of these Veki, I guess, operatives. And these are the octogenarian, the 80-year-old, I don't want to say it's a cult, but pretty much everything seems to kind of revolve around that. And there was a funeral procession passing by of another kind of oddball, cultish-like organization, a big funeral procession, and something popped out of the coffin there as you guys had basically stopped, halted the procession, and the creature coming at you right here, again, is where we left off, is just as this thing is racing towards you. It's this being of light. It looks kind of like it's bipedal as it's running towards you, guys. It let off this flash of light as it jumped out, and all of you were blinded for a small bit, but only T-Bone the Disco Spider now has removed his helmet, and perhaps because of the helmet is able to see. The rest of you are blinded for a certain number of rounds, but that's where we're at with the creature racing towards you, streaming color off its skin, a real something that none of you guys have seen before. Let's start real quickly again. Name the magic sentence and what you're looking like as you're in this particular moment in racing towards you. So we'll start with T-Bone the Disco Spider, the only one who can actually see at this moment.
The best one, obviously. T-Bone the Disco Spider is a dogman warrior who delves deeper. I am wearing a giant spherical helmet, or was wearing a giant spherical helmet, and I am getting ready to use it as a bowling ball.
Excellent.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Excellent. Next is Josiah. And Josiah was hit as hard as everybody else, eyes wide open, as always. But in this particular instance, you're temporarily blinded, but so tell us about Josiah.
I think Josiah. Oh, you want me to tell? So I'm a shadow man Vurt. speaker who bleeds lucky, basically a grifter. And I think Josiah in this moment, being blinded, is attempting to reach out. You can see him trying to, his ascot seems to be moving a bit, his faithful shadow companion. I'm trying to reach out. He and I are trying to figure out a strategy for getting around this. I'm going to try something on my turn. We'll see how it goes.
Nice. And your faithful companion, which is up on the screen right now, is named.
Rug. Oh, look at Rug. There's a little graphic for Rug. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, this is this is a Vurt being, actually. That is your, not even a familiar, your buddy.
He's my friend.
Yep. Rug can see.
Tell you about my best friend.
Yeah, that's Rug. That'd be nice. Okay, so perfect. So next we have Winter. Winter, what's happening at this moment?
So I am standing there with like the shards of a broken like little statuette at my feet. And I can't see. So I've got like one hand over my eyes, but the other hand I've got my mono blade out, and I'm just like using it like a stay away from me kind of shield. Stab anybody who comes close.
What's your magic sentence, Winter?
I am a Robo-Man Shad Explorer who tracks marks.
Nice. Robo-Man Shad. Oh, no good, Nick. Speaking of, next is Engel, which I mispronounced on purpose.
I don't even know the right way to pronounce it, so I take no offense to whatever else happens. I think the closest I ever get is if you do like the really deep fake Engel, but that's can't do that all the time, right? So yeah. So Engel is a Robo-Man Shad warrior who plugs in. Right now he can't really see what's going on. But I think last round before we broke last time, he turned sort of shadowy and semi-translucent ethereal. And he has like a field hockey stick. And he just tried to he can't really see what's coming, but he tried to get up front to put himself between whatever just happened and the rest of the crew. Because it's I'm here to pummel something and defend people, so I gotta get in the middle. So
perfect. Okay, and last but not least, Buzz.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Buzz Diptera. I'm a robo-vert mad magician who controls blurbs, and I look like a big old bug. And I've got one little grub in a baby blurb Bjorn. Actually said it right this time. Strapped under me, and I have two coleopter blurb flies right by my shoulder, one of which can see for me. I am still blinded, but one of which has a video link, and I can see through its eyes, so I'm actually having it over my shoulder right now, and it's just acting as my eyes. And I'm about to try something math-magician. So we'll see what happens. Perfect.
Okay, so that's where we are going to start right now. Again, we have a particular creature that none of you guys have seen before, racing towards you. At this point, as it's racing towards you, you figure it's probably about 8 feet tall at the most. It's moving fast, very fast. Again, this is in Sardinia, the island of Sardinia. Olbia is a pretty modern town or modern city at this point here. So you do have some of the cobblestone streets to a bit, but these are thin, tall skyscrapers everywhere in this particular central area. So as it's racing down towards you, the light coming off its skin is bouncing off the walls and the mirrored walls, and it makes it twice as confusing. But yes, it roars light, I guess is the best way to describe it. So let's start. We have the initiative order, and this particular thing. Okay, perfect. And Winter, you are first. Again, you have another round of, having the bright light of this initial flash, clear enough for you to actually make out shapes. So, what you up to?
My cat is trying to eat plastic.
That counts.
Yeah.
That's your action.
I
Who's
spend
next?
the round stopping the cat from eating plastic. No.
Very Vurt.
If I can't see him, then I don't want him to see me. So I'm going to use show shadow.
Perfect. Okay.
And I'm just going to be like this. It's not really very effective in this situation, but I'm just like this. I'm just like these shadows just start like boiling out of me, and I'm just like, I'm angry, and it's. If I ever find a shadow, that's not me. I'll blend into it, but right now I'm just, little.
Perfect. Yeah, the shadows are bouncing everywhere, like, which is part of the confusion. So, and let's see, Angiel is also already, you did your show shadow as well. Did you do that, or
I
is that
didn't
correct?
show
I believe
shadow.
last time you started to.
Yeah, I've got partially there.
Okay, partially there. Okay,
for 10 minutes.
Partially there, which is started.
Yeah. But that was, I think that was my action before we broke last time, because I couldn't see you do anything else. So.
Correct. So okay, so we have one partially there. We have one with a shadowy thing starting to kind of the ascot coming out, and already the shadow, mutton chops of Josiah are getting bigger. We have Winter in July, who's now again. Explain how yours specifically how show shadow looks for you. Where does the shadow smoke come from?
So the shadow smoke, it comes from like my eyes and my face generally, and it like drips down like hair that's kind of writhing around.
So again, as this creature of light is coming towards you, anybody who has either show shadow or some type of shadow thing or partially there is finding it even more difficult, because again, the light source is bouncing around. It's this being of light. So, okay. So you have done show shadow. Okay. Next, Engel, what are you? You're partially there, but what are you gonna do?
As near as I can tell, I'm just gonna try to swing at whatever's coming through. So.
Okay, go for it. That's gonna be a Dex. Now it is going to be 2 levels more difficult than regular. So because you still have 3 rounds where you're temporarily blinded. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that would help with either like there's gonna be very few combat skills or anything that would apply, but
invest in blind fighting next time I have an upgrade. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Okay. Otherwise, you can use some effort if you want to bring it down, but you're gonna roll to see if you hit this this being of light racing towards you.
Okay. So think about what I'm trying to ask. Am I able to spend a level of speed effort, kind of as a swinging circular type motion?
Yeah,
to try to sweep through
it's
a
all
array
gonna
kind of
be.
deal?
It's gonna be. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, it's a speed task still.
Okay.
Whether you connect or not, you can't.
Yeah. I was just checking because that's the one where I had the most edge. So I'll spend 2 levels of effort, which will cost me 2 speed.
Okay. All right.
And
12 or above.
12.
Hey, now. Okay. Good. Perfect. So, yes, you connect with something. Not something. It doesn't feel like you hit like a huge solid thing, but you hit something where you hear kind of a crackle or a cracking sound of something. It's pretty solid. But, yeah, no, it's winter. No,
She gets over it
it
later.
feels like, you've busted knuckles before in your past, many. So it feels like this thing reaching out towards you, with its hand. You got lucky, perhaps. Again, you saw it racing towards you, but it feels like you cracked some knuckles. So that's lucky and great. Okay, next up is nope, it's Josiah. It's Josiah.
Okay. So I need to know whether or not Rug can see. So I need to ask Rug whether or not he can see. It's going to be this. I have simple communication, but I feel like anything with Rug is a challenge when we're not.
Right, yep.
So
especially mid-combat.
Yeah. So I'm going to,
Yep.
This is going to be a thing. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll do an intellect roll. I'm not going to spend any effort because I'm things.
It's only a 9 or above unless you want to spend effort. I mean, this is just to communicate to a very willing target around your neck.
I got a 6. I'm going to spend XP to re-roll that.
Okay.
And I got either Rug can't see or he can't communicate to me that he can see, because I got a 6 and a 3, and I'm not going to blow any more XP. So
got it.
Is that considered my action for the turn to try to communicate? Okay.
Correct. So, Rug is confused. You can hear the kind of chirpy, or you can feel, that little sound and everything. Certainly wanting to understand what you are trying to say, but just can't. Not there yet. Perfect. Okay. Actually, and this now, the first. Winter. You feel as you're emitting the smoke there, you can feel actually kind of almost like if you were in a vacuum, like everything's being pulled forward to you. You can definitely feel like you're going to have to move somehow to avoid, something is attacking you. It's this thing, but you haven't been grabbed onto.
Like that cannon.
No. Yes. So you're going to roll. It's going to be a speed roll. It's going to be 2 more level task difficulty levels up. You can use effort for sure. Do you have any combat, anything again for your defense roll, speed defense roll? Do you have anything that might apply? Let's consider if you have an asset for it.
Specialized in speed defense. And all movement tasks. The
movement, no, I'm gonna definitely for the speed defense task. That makes, this is a speed defense task, so it counts.
Yeah.
So it brings it down by 1. Do you want to use any effort?
Yes. I'll use.
This is speed again.
No, actually, speed defense is specialized, so that's 2.
Oh, excellent. Oh, perfect. Okay.
And I'll use an effort, which will only cost me 1 because I have 2 edge.
Good. All right. 9
and let's
above.
try it.
9 or above. 9 or above.
19.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. So you've got a minor effect as well. Okay. Let's say this. Yes, you move somehow out of the way, through the air. You're somehow able to kind of get out of this like pull, this vacuum pull towards your enemy, and you can feel the air rushing by, and you're back to covered in smoke. You can feel it. You can't see anything at all either. But you also your minor effect. You can't see, but T-Bone the Disco Spider, since you're able to see at this point, you're the only one, you can actually see this thing racing towards, again, it goes to punch towards one of the Robo-Man shads and gets its knuckles wrapped and then starts pulling the smoke with its hand like this, out the shadow smoke out of Winter, and then she moved out of the way. And what you see at this point is it leans down with its hands on its knees, and it looks like it's huffing and puffing. And again, this is just a wild being of light everywhere. Again, one more time, we'll show it. And again, colors bouncing everywhere. So again, the minor effect is basically that, you know, you moved out so fast that it tired it out. So that's what you're, okay. Now, next we are at Buzz. So Buzz, you also are unable to see. However, you're a couple eyes in the sky, but you have one in particular, right?
Now, I was going to say that I wanted to see if it's possible to retcon, because I don't know if we said this exactly, but when I had, in last round, I used my blurb to see for me, and I had it up behind me. I think it's fair that I would have asked to slave that so that my other blurb fly, the second one, doesn't have the visual, but I would slave it to be behind me because I don't want them attacking if I can't see. So I was just saying they're both behind me for right now. Okay, so they're using as my eyes, and hopefully that I saw that little exchange there. That
you saw exactly that. Yes, you are able to see that. I forgot. Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't have any shadow powers, but I would try and say, "Hey, Josiah, throw a rug at the guy. Pull the rug out from under him." But
that's a free part of the action. I'll allow that, but you can still act. But
right, yeah, I was just going to say that, but I'm going to force point my magical missile at his head.
Okay, all attacks, just because you're using a second set of eyes, is going to be one step of difficulty more difficult, or any movement. You'll still be able to see in almost real time, but any attacks, So, okay.
Now, because of my robo nature, I took targeting optics, so I have an asset to all ranged.
That counts. Sure, okay. Absolutely. Okay, so you've got that. You're trained in that, so it drops down 1. Do you want to use any effort? Do you have anything else that'll apply?
I'm looking. I don't think. I think it's just targeting optics, and that was all I took for that. So okay.
And again, I'm going to say that this is going to be based on int as well, because you're technically using a relay system as one of your senses. So yeah, it's less about what you're actually doing, the dexterity and stuff, most attacks, and more about int.
Now, I would like to spend a level of effort as well.
Okay.
Now, I have a 2 effort and I have a 3 edge in intellect.
Damn.
So I forget what that means as far as...
It means free, it drops down, so for free. And you can add another, but it costs 2, or it's 3 and 2. Yeah. So
I still lose 1 point because the effort was free, but the force point cost 1 point.
Correct.
So I still spend 1 point for that. So I am.
That makes sense. Yes. And it's now down to. Okay. Go for it.
20 for that, and I'm gonna roll my attack.
And it's huffing and puffing as well. So that's
10.
Okay. 6 or above. You got it. Yes, because it is now again huffing and puffing. It's in one spot. Okay, 6 or above. Wait, standard. Yes, 6. So yes, it hits. How many points of damage is force point again? 4.
Wait.
I think it is.
I think it is. Well, yeah. Let me just double check here.
Okay, and you can tell me where on it, because you can certainly. It is specifically a point. Where did you focus this thing?
Face.
In the face. Again, it's huffing and puffing like this. It is knocked back on its back. Again, it's a being of light. Again, mostly purples and yellows and pinks and things like that. But it's flailing at this point. Okay, and it's gone from huffing and puffing to on its back. That's a good start so far. Okay, Now, last but not least, T-Bone, the disco spider, who has been watching all of this as, you know, as all this crazy stuff is happening, you know, that everybody's taking care of business. What are you going to do?
First off, do I recognize this as something that might know what this is?
Do you have Vurt knowledge?
I have Vurtology.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You would have to, you can take an action to fully try to, that's a way to, yeah, absolutely. It'll take a full action for you to observe. Go for it.
Roll for it?
Yes, and let's see, I'm gonna do, based off the same intimidating cast. Do you want to use any effort or anything like that? It's int.
Int. I will use 1 level of effort.
Okay. Okay. And are you trained in anything? No.
I'm trained in Vurtology.
Okay.
I'm trained in searching.
Mm-hmm. No.
That's about it.
Okay. So you still feel it's difficult, but you're gonna go for it.
All right.
So
what do I have to hit?
Say who?
What do I have to roll?
Roll first, and then we'll see.
Damn it.
Difficult, technically, is
13.
12.
13.
Oh yeah, difficult 12. So yes, perfect. Yes, simple, standard, demanding, difficult, challenging, intimidating, formidable, heroic, immortal, and impossible are the things with their task difficulty numbers. So with a 13, you beat difficult 12, and here's what you figure out. This is definitely a Vurt beam, 100%. It is in pain. You can tell that much about it. It was sounding like it was in pain even before it got its knuckles wrapped and, you know, knocked on its back with a force point to the face. However, you can notice, again, just the way you're observing certain symbols. You know, it looks like it has a bunch of necklaces around it with little like trinkets and charms. You can certainly make out the actual more solid part underneath. It has what look like almost like tusks coming up out of the side of its face. There's no nose. It has, you know, it's wrapped in this cloak and everything, but it's pretty form-fitting and it's tattered as well. It's, you know, it has claw-like hands. It looks almost like it's made out of glowing, you know, luminescent stone. The closest thing that you can think of is, let's see. Yeah, you haven't seen it. That's all the information I can give you. But
something we might have seen if we took the
I'll say this: if you want to, maybe no one wants to take my feather. Oh man, smart move. Yes, no. So if I'll say this much, you feel like if you spent at any point another round or another moment trying to take this even further, whether you're looking at it or not, you can probably maybe try to get more info. But right now, best you can say is it's in pain. It's definitely a Vurt being, and basically what it looks like. Everybody else is just kind of seeing nothing but bright lights, but at least you now can see it at its more form. Looks like a glowing form now for you. Cool. Solid. Okay, up to the top. Now everybody again goes down. So Buzz, you're temporarily blinded for 1 more round. Josiah and Engil are 2 more rounds, and Winter, you now, the bright, you know, light from that flash is now dissipating enough for you to at least see the form. And again, you see the form of this thing on its back, you know, trying to get out. Okay, you are up. Winter, yes, you are up.
I'm going to use my special ability, Sprint and Grab, which allows me to run a short distance and grapple a target, which should be pretty easy because he's already on the ground.
Yep, absolutely. It'll
I want
drop
to
out
keep
a
him down,
difficult death.
basically.
Yep. Okay, good. So it'll still be a speed roll. But 1, he's already on his back. That drops it 1. 2, you're using, and he's got the force point. No, okay, so that's 1. And you are going to use your special ability on him. Okay. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so I'm basically gonna run. I'm gonna like push him down with this arm, like push down on his shoulders, like kneel on him, push on his shoulders, and like put the other hand with the knife to his throat.
Got it. And your
all right.
yeah, your mono blade is like a glowing electric thing as well, too, right?
Yeah.
So that must be pretty rad to see, again, of being covered in shadow, racing and jumping and doing all this like tricky stuff, but the glowing knife in the hand.
It just appears out of the shadow, this glow of like death.
The blade, yes, slick. Okay, go for it. It's already that. You got, okay. And this is just to hit it because it's a special ability. Does it have an activation cost? I can't remember.
It's 2, but I have edge.
Got it.
And it's 2 speed.
Okay. All right. 9 or above. It's demanding still, but you've dropped it.
Do it. Oh shit! I got an 8.
One away. You want to use that XP?
Yes.
Drop that XP, right? You won't need it.
Yeah. Hey, cut it out. Woo! Good thing I did. I got an 18.
Excellent. Okay. Yes. Yes, you're on it. Yes, you. Hey, it's Game Cat. You officially have it subdued. It'll have to, you'll have to. Yes.
It'll try and break free, and I can grapple it and stuff. Yeah.
Correct. Now you do feel that this thing is not even registering that you have a knife. It's on its back. You have it down. It's not. I mean, you still can't quite see. It's just this crazy being of light. But it's on its back and it feels subdued. Whether, it feels less like, oh, that person has a knife. It's more in like you're kneeling on its chest with the, so it's definitely badass and it is subdued. Okay, next up is Engil. And again, this is what you cannot see what's just happened. You do not know that where anything is or if anybody's on top of anything or anything like that. You can hear stuff, but that's where you're at. So
Nope.
You got lucky last
nobody
time.
called out their position, so I don't know they're in front of me. So I'm going to swing at it blindly and
You got to do it.
Yeah.
You have a bandy stick, so yeah. Okay, and this will.
Yeah, let's see. I get a level of speed effort for free. So
Okay,
that's,
perfect.
That's it.
Drop it down. So it's still demanding.
Yeah. And not 20.
Oh.
Ta-da.
Damn!
I'm gonna. You know what? Let's say this: you get 2 hits on it, and both hits absolutely miss Winter 100%. Like right, I mean, doesn't touch her.
All right.
Nice. So let's see. It's already gotten 4 from the force point.
Bandy stick
As
is
that
a light
happens, I'm
weapon.
like, hey, I'm over here.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this with a nat 20. You have this is 2 more rounds. Yeah, you're down to 2 more rounds temporarily. This gives you such a good feeling of the terrain because you got 2 solid hits, and she's saying, "Hey, don't hit me." That you're down to 1 temporary blindness thing, until you can at least act with basic shapes. So 2 goes down to 1. So that's a nat 20 that comes in at a really good time. Okay, so the bandy stick is how many?
It's light, so that's 4.
4. Okay. Oh shit. Nice. Okay. Life small. Okay, so down to oh, shoot. Well done. Okay, it it bellows out. Again, it sounds pained, and everybody who can see at this point sees just colors flying out. Shimmering, changing. Like those fighting beetles. Those the big awesome fighting beetles. It's kind of lots of greens and purples and yellows and things like that. It's beautiful but terrifying. Okay, that is so it's Engil. Perfect. Great. Josiah. You also have 2 more rounds where
And he's muted.
you're unable to see, but and you cannot see and you have not seen what's happened here. So act accordingly.
Let me think. So Rug and I.
You did hear. I should mention you did hear Engil. Or not Engil. Buzz yell what he did. So you at least have an idea. You have a little bit of an idea what's going on, but still pretty trying to reach out. Now you can also up to you.
I'm gonna try. Okay, so this is gonna be something else. So this is a Vurt being.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to get my Vurt being to tell it to calm the fuck down.
Now you don't know it's a Vurt being yet.
Oh.
And you'll have to connect with Rug to use either eyes or have a feeling of it. Yeah.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna, lacking anything better, I'm going to simply command Rug to defend me, which is something that he can do.
Yep. Yeah. You've already established that level of communication. So absolutely.
So, do we have rules for Rug's attacks? He's got that weird smoke choke.
Yep.
He's been working on other things, but he really just has this smoke choke.
Yeah, as far as an attack, yes. Although you've established other tricks really with him, but yeah, you've got one absolutely deadly area of attack. Again,
have you taught him to do that to a smaller area? Because that's
I don't know to the extent that I'm trying to think.
And you're unable to see either. So you
I don't need to see to mind punch. So I'm going to mind punch.
I guess not. No, I guess if you certainly know that it's right in front of you, and I guess sure. You can't really do it around a corner too much. It has to be kind of close, but you're aware enough of the situation to do it. Sure.
So I'm just gonna mind punch this being.
Nice.
I got a 12.
It's difficult. That's it. So that counts. 12 is, yep. So what's a mind punch do?
Let me look it up. Hang on. I forget. It does I think 4 damage.
Is it light damage? Yeah.
Or light damage. Hang on. Let me look though.
Yeah, I think it's the equivalent a knife or a small caliber firearm. It's a 4 points of
mind punch. Where are you?
Yeah.
In the book.
So as the mind punch does hit, it definitely again wails out in more pain, opens its mouth even wider, and T-Bone, from what you can see, and what you have a much better view of what's going on because of what you did at the beginning. It looks familiar, and you can't put your finger on it. It's again definitely Vurt, but there's something. It's more than just, hey, you've never seen this before. So I'll say that. Yep. Cool. So mind punch. Let's say that let me know if it's different. But let's say that
damage unless I spend. It's 4 points of intellect damage unless I spend to increase it, but I'm not gonna.
Correct.
So
correct. And you would have to call
it Josiah reaching out into the void and just being like, you fucked up.
So 16 points total right now. Okay, is what you guys have. I mean, not that we're metagaming, but just so you guys are aware, you guys have unleashed some pretty decent attacks here. Okay, now we're down to the point. let's see. Oh, okay, the beam. Because Winter, because you're subduing it, you're going to be making the roll. It's going to try to, buck you off the top and, free itself. So it's a speed defense. You can see now, so you have no things. You do feel, just because it's so big, and as it starts to, get its strength back up, it feels intimidating, again, without getting metagamey, but this is more than difficult or challenging that you've faced very recently. So this is big, and it doesn't care about the knife. It does not see, it's not registering. So you can't intimidate it really like that.
I'll intimidate it by slashing its throat then.
That's what you do. I love it. You're right there. You're still gonna have to do a speed defense to.
Yeah, I'll do my speed defense. I'm specialized, so it's 2 easier.
Okay.
And I'll spend a level of effort.
Got it.
Which costs 1 because of my edge.
Wow. So it's still demanding, but damn, you brought that way down. So as you're trying to get the exact right positioning to keep your weight, distributed on top to keep this thing down, what do you roll?
I roll a 4.
You want to use that XP or no?
Sure.
Sure. Reroll it.
Sure, why not? See, that was much better. It's a 5.
You
5 or 6 more XP, and it'll be up high enough that you'll be where you need to be.
Did we get XP at the beginning of the session?
Not this. You didn't, because you were mid. Knew that was going into it. That was part of it. So, or part of the, the fight had started. Yeah. Okay. So, yes, you get thrown off this thing, but you land because you're so badass. You land. How do you land? You get thrown in the air, and how do you land? Still, you let me know.
So, it throws me off, and I do like this flip in the air and land in like a predatory crouch.
Yeah, there it is. Perfect. And Hans Zimmer is in the back just with his, just cranking it out. Absolutely. This is, it's perfect. Okay, so those of you that can't actually exactly hit whatever that instrument is. Yeah. Okay. So those of you that can see what's happening right now, see this thing, knock Winter off, who does this badass thing. So she's still up and ready to keep fighting. But this thing now is up, back on its feet, and it has, it has taken off its, its tattered cloak, and T-Bone, you are the one who can really see that's what you guys can see, more or less. It takes off part of its body. You guys can't, again, all just light to you. T-Bone, you see that it takes off its tattered cloak, and again, it is covered in these amulets and trinkets and charms and, strapped everywhere. Its tusks are up like this. It has stone-like skin, but again, it's glowing everywhere, and it's in extreme pain. Okay, so now we are at Buzz.
Was
Buzz,
it in
what you got?
extreme pain before we got to it? Or...
Yeah, in fact, I don't want to, hurt anybody's self-esteem here or something, but yeah, it's the same extreme pain as it was before. Even though you guys are dealing out some damage, it's more of like it's an agonizing pain, and less about like the stuff you guys just pulled, which is pretty good. I mean, 16 points in a couple of rounds is pretty badass. Okay, Buzz.
Do we want to just kill this thing, or do we want to question it?
Says Buzz to himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want this thing around.
If only we had some people who could connect us all together in a telepathic network.
Is that? Are you talking to me? I actually can't do that. I can only simple communication only works with one party at a time.
Oh.
We don't have a Slack channel power here.
It's the colors coming out of its mouth at this point, are hurting everybody's eyes. I mean, it's distracting and confusing enough, but now it feels like almost like it's getting more saturated. Someone's sliding the bar up in the saturation, and it's less beautiful colors and more almost like angry versions of a rainbow. A rainbow or spectral.
Rainbow.
Yeah. I know, dude. I need a shirt.
I want to use hedge maths, but I want to see if I can analyze the light coming out of it and set up a decoherent frequency to subdue the light coming out of it. So that
That'll take 2 rounds.
Okay.
The first one to analyze, sure, and you have to let me know how you do that. And then the second one, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, would that be just hedge maths and both? I'd like to do a hedge maths and probably just both times, and maybe spend a level of effort just to get one for the analysis and one for the application.
Yeah. You would only have to spend it once, but you'd have to make the second roll as well. But you wouldn't have to activate it again. You can make it part of a kind of a multiple. In this case, sure. If you have a second roll and otherwise you'll have to start over. You know what I'm saying? You have to have 2 successful rounds in order for this particular thing to go. So sure. Gotcha. So hedge maths will cover this process you're starting.
Okay. So I'll do that and then just make an intellect roll just to see. Okay. And I'll spend a little effort.
Okay.
So that means
so you dropped it by.
Drop 1 more point. And make it a roll.
Standard for you. Because you can, demanding. It's one more. Oh, got a 1. Oh.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm spending that XP to re-roll that damn thing. Or am I not allowed to?
This is a process. So I'll say that you're going to have to, there has to be something. I mean, a re-roll, there has to be some type of, so you're unable to focus, let's just say, but did you already spend the effort for hedge maths or the point of activation or anything? Yeah, you don't, you can get those points back or that point or whatever it is back, but you'll have to activate next time. Yeah.
Okay, so I can spend the XP, but I lose the turn.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay,
correct.
Okay, that is what I will do then.
Cool. Okay, now we are at T-Bone the Disco Spider.
How far away am I from it at this point?
Again, you're in this alleyway, so I'd say if you had enough to knock him down there and jump towards him within 5 feet.
Okay. I want to run up.
Yep.
I want to use instead of bowling, I'm going to slam dunk with my helmet onto his head. As I slam it onto his head, I'm turning back on the Rick Astley music.
Yeah.
And I'm turning on all the lights inside the helmet.
Oh.
So I'm going to try to basically distract him to the point where he can't do shit.
So wait, remind me again. This does have the helmet has lights in it. All the disco lights.
It has stuff inside it, like
that's right.
Heads-up display kind of thing.
That's right. Your own private disco. That's right, and it has Rick Astley that's playing. Oh my gosh! Who knew?
I obviously I'm wise enough to know that Rick Astley is purely for torture, but it's a versatile tool that I can use against people as well as for my own gain.
He will never let you down.
No bennies for you. Wrong system. Perfect. That's a speed speed roll.
I'm specialized in jumping. I'm trained in running. Can I use those?
Yeah, sure. I want to see this happen. Yeah, so it drops at 3 even without effort. You feel at that point, yeah.
I mean, I'm also spending effort. So,
okay.
Because I have.
So you feel this is simple now for you.
So 17 update. So I'm gonna roll. Here we go.
Go for it.
13.
Excellent. You beat a 3. Yeah, you space jam down on his on his face. Yeah, because you can actually see where the tusks are, you can actually make sense of this. You get a direct okay, yes. Okay. How should I say this without metagaming? Everybody feels an immediate sense of calm, like the energy there, everything just drops a bit because of its motivation and what you just did. Okay, so you can still see, some light obviously coming out the bottom, but it's a globe helmet that's just been stuck on this thing that has lights in it. It stops moving, but it is bouncing a little bit. Maybe it's involuntary muscle spasms. Maybe it's Rick Astley, but it is definitely not fighting back right now. Why not bold? Absolutely. Okay, yes. And you were at the end of the initiative round, initiative order. Perfect. Everybody else now, we're at the top of the round again. Everybody who, I think only Josiah has like 1 round left where you're unable to see. Mm-hmm. You still have kind of blinded. Everybody else is able to see at this point. However, enough of you guys, are well, it's subdued. It is subdued and it is on its back and it's just, I should mention, yeah, you slam it, you knock it down, and like Shaq on a backboard, it went down. So, but it's twitching, and yeah, you guys are up. Winter, T. Is that correct?
Winter.
No, Winter. Yes, top of the order.
I'm first. So I do the thing again where I jump back. I like flip backwards, the same way I got flipped off, I flip back on.
Right,
and land
sure.
in the same position, except for this time, I actually push the knife against his throat. I say, "Don't fucking move."
Okay. Right. Nice. Yeah. So roll a speed roll just to see if you don't get a 1. I mean, it's not necessarily an attack or whatever. Don't worry about the grapple again. It's subdued. So just roll a standard speed roll.
I got a 20.
Oh no.
But I needed it.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Okay, it was standard. Yeah. So yeah, let's say, okay, again, it's subdued already. It's just twitching. It stops twitching. And you see it move its hands up like this.
Yeah.
He's again in its own private disco of Rick Astley and flashing lights and stuff like this, and it's throwing up light in it. So it's like in a fishbowl. Flump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely a B-52's video in its head right now. It's all over the place. I'll say this: as far as some type of major effect, you may not realize it now, but you have a major effect, and it will carry on. Whenever you want to say intimidate or something, you're gonna you may find it a little bit easier than everybody else. But right now, that's about as good as I can get you on a major effect since it's already subdued. So next is Engel.
Yes. Hey, I can see again. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fun.
just in
So
time. You guys did some
it's kind
wuxia.
of on the ground and got the, you know. Okay. But he came out of like the coffin that was part of the funeral procession on the street, and I want to check out like, okay, at the edge of the alley, like what's everybody doing there?
Got it.
Are there people like coming? Are they paying
Yeah,
attention to this? Are they
all
coming
the
this way?
funeral,
Like,
all the funeral, the people in the procession had backed up, and are still backed up. You know, they seem, again, some of their smiles now have turned to looks of confusion. At first, you know, they almost knew what was going to happen. It felt like when the first flash went, you know, they backed up. They knew something was going to go on. But now, again, it's part confusion. Maybe that's because it's on its back with Rick Astley blasting, and again, it's still color coming out of from here down, but things have changed. Everybody else seems to be gone. The Vecchi guy is there against the wall with his, you know, he's covered his eyes, remember, because he knew what he still has his hands covering his eyes. Yep. So
okay.
perfect. Looks like also actually now
yeah, I mean in the meantime, Engel will try to move between where everybody's at and where we've got that guy, the thing kind of pinned down to try to, like, you know, look intimidating and try to keep anybody else from trying to come over here and like get involved. But I'm like trying to crowd control for right now. Like,
Gotcha.
I don't know any good Italian curse words, but he's probably muttering something ugly in Ukrainian at them that none of them understand. So
yeah, of course.
But there's some good body language involved. They're gonna get it.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. They'll. Yeah, you've been okay with crowd control so far.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's it for me. I'm just trying to, crowd control and
yep. Okay.
Keep an eye on things.
Crowd control is there, and if you need to jump in and, you know, in action, you're ready to. Perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think technically I may have like an Overwatch or something like that, but I'm not gonna try to dig with stuff right now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Josiah, you're still yes, and I see that I think we lost Pete to the internet connection here, but yes, but we can still do continue on just with this again since it's subdued. Josiah, you're up. Yeah.
I'm still blind.
For one more round.
Okay, so do I know it's subdued?
You can actually feel, probably also by the, you know, the happy chitterings and chatterings of Rug next to you. You can tell that the danger level has changed and passed. So, yeah. Okay. That's about all you know, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna try. He's subdued. I'm gonna try getting. I'm going to try having Rug talk to it. I'm going to try to tell Rug to tell the subnet, like the Crete, to try to establish a connection. I'm trying to get him to communicate like friendly. So I'll do this as just an intellect roll. Does a 13 get me to
difficult?
Okay, so 13 should do it.
Yes, it's more than 12. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, so specifically, Josiah's letting Rug know that like it wants Rug, who's currently attached to me, it wants Rug to go make a friend, and that's what I tell Rug: go make a friend. Perfect.
And this is the perfect spot to take a after this moment a quick, again, our bio break anyway, and internet repair break, I suppose. Also, so yes, that's what happens, and Rug, you know, you feel Rug leave your shoulder. What everybody else sees and what you probably hear and kind of understand is happening, Josiah, is Rug goes over and lands on the shoulder of this, this totally subdued, rocking out to Rick Astley Vurt creature. And it, because, a Rug is a Vurt being, and because it's the absence of color, all, it's not shadow smoke at all, but remember, it's the Vurt equivalent of an absence of color. It's darkness. It's not smoke, it's darkness. So it all of a sudden landing there, all of this energy, this light energy that's been, shooting out and probably causing it pain, is like a poultice sucked into, very happily, into Rug here, who also seems to be, kind of symbiotically digging this thing too. And they're just like, okay, they kind of sound as the equivalent of like if someone's scratching an itch, it's like, oh, perfect, oh, ooh, that type of, that energy. So all of a sudden, this insanely dangerous, trust me, it's dangerous, situation has now gone to subdued and friendly soon enough. And after we come back from the break, we'll get that and we'll pick it up from there. Specifically, and the last bit of info here for T-Bone, this is the point where that kind of, where you've seen it before, kind of trying to figure out something, you now have enough clues to put it together. That this thing on the ground, of course, is a being, you knew that, but it's stuck here, of course, in the real world, and it's because I don't have the image set up, it's a saturator, and that's these are the Vurt creatures, and that's why where you've seen it before. They hate color and anything that isn't monochromatic. They reach out and they eat, and they're terrible things in the Vurt world, and they're from some real dark corners of the Vurt world. But it seems like when they're here in the real world, it's all those colors, everything that they've been eating is comes back out. So you've now witnessed the very first, I guess, instance that anybody knows of a saturator coming from the Vurt world and what happens to them when they come here. The reason the lights worked is because you just, the motive, it's the opposite motive. They're trying to, they're comforted by, the feeling of them.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, eating lights, it feels like it's not losing light, so you got it that far. And now with Rug on its, as a color poultice, I guess, pulling all the excess light, it's stabilized and comfortable, and its motives of rage until it can fix those two things has been fixed. So we'll take our 15-minute, 15-minute bio break, or 10 minutes, I'm sorry, 10-minute bio break. And then we'll be back to see how you guys deal with a now, I don't want to say friendly, but certainly more than subdued, terrifying Vurt.
Josiah's got to catch them all. That's what's happening next.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool. So we'll be back in 10, everybody. Cool? All right.
Hi. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
everybody.
Welcome back. Yes. Okay. Let's pick up right where we left off. We've or T-Bone the Disco Spider has realized that this is a saturator stuck in the real world, and a saturator is a Vurt being that is devoid of any pigmentation, and they're angered by bright colors, and they basically chase after colors and eat those things in the Vurt world, and they store the colors. But it looks like when they're here in the real world, it's all those colors that they ingested there come out in a very, very painful way. So it's still rocking out to Rick Astley, its own private disco, and it's still, shining some colors, but it's not blinding because it's all being pulled into Rug, and Rug is digging it too. Rug is, kind of nodding to the same that we're gonna give, yeah. So, interesting way to Rickroll your way out of a big bad. Well done, consultants. Yeah.
We're not
cool.
clever.
Yeah. The combat has ended. Yes, and now at this point again, everybody does have sight again. If those who were temporarily blinded. This is a saturator. It is again rocking out the way it is now. It's subdued, and you feel no danger whatsoever. That's where you're at.
All right. So was Rug able to, do I feel like Rug and it are incommunicado?
Yeah, symbiotic, yeah. Whether they're communicating on deep levels or not, you can't tell, but yeah, they're certainly able to communicate a lot better than, because they're both Vurt beings.
Ben, my question to the team is, where the hell do you think this thing came from?
The Vurt.
The Vurt.
Who brought it out of the Vurt? That's the question.
Technically, their origin feather is fractalized fairy tales. So it's another one of those super scary, super dark.
I think I actually had that one.
I don't doubt it.
Back at the base.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. Now I should also mention at this point, especially for Engel, who's looking over a crowd, trying to make sure, got a lay of the land and what everybody's doing. You're seeing that the funeral procession at this point, the confusion's turned into murmurs. They're starting to get closer. They're starting to approach. They're not saying anything, but you can tell they're coming to get this thing back and I guess put it back in the coffin.
No.
Yeah.
The spectral shadowy alley. Dude. Yeah, the spectral shadowy dude with the bandy stick is like, nah, and I'm like heading that direction. Like I'm not charging at him, but it's like, it's raised and I'm ready, and you're not coming down here.
So I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna try to tell Rug to create a curtain over us. He's gonna so we've practicing, like it's basically like a larger curtain in front between us and the crowd. There's little toxic curtain that I don't want people to go through. And let's see.
Look at Rug. Rug is so happy.
So Rug is like gonna just like do a little like blackened curtain over us. I don't know how big Rug can actually get, but it should knock him out.
Yeah, it filled a, what is like you've seen it fill basically a 15-foot area, like 15 by 15. So
big enough. Just we need to disappear this creature. What's the other direction? So the crowd.
Okay, so you're in an alleyway. Again, it goes. Let's say it's 50 yards. from one end where the protesters are, where the procession, funeral procession, cultist kind of people are, very narrow, and I mean like maybe 15 feet total. These are very narrow. And then it goes back again, sorry for switching between metric, but 50 yards total to the other side. And you don't know what's there. You're still at the front end of this alleyway. At least 20-story buildings on either side, all the way down. So, and flat, mostly mirrored surfaces, which is
Buzz,
what made it so difficult.
Buzz, you want to send your blurbs, get us a bit of lay of the land, see if we've got an exit?
Let's do it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so to have Rug do that, you can, that would be a new trick, wouldn't it? So let's do this once a session, see if you can communicate in this moment and teach a new trick or not teach a trick. Last time you tried and didn't quite get what you're going to do. If this is the trick you're going to teach it.
I'm going to try again.
I would.
I'm going to spend
difficult.
A effort.
So now it's just demanding.
12.
Excellent. Beat a 9. Okay, so this is, again, note it. This is the new trick that you've taught Rug how to do. And Rug, you can explain. What does it look like?
So Rug is this tiny ball. You watch as he sort of like untangles himself, and it just sort of like he's in this tight cylinder. But I mean, it's essentially a smoke effect, so it's not pure. But then it's watching. It's almost like watching someone weave a rug vertically, like on a looming machine. It's just he sort of forms this straight line, and then slowly all of these wisps of air start interlocking on top of each other until he gets. It's about 15 feet by 15 feet up and about 15 feet left, right. So he's blocking the alley. And I mean, Rug isn't opaque. He's semi-transparent. So there's a little spots of light coming through, but you really can't see past him. And the one is that the smoke's natural state is kind of toxic. So if anyone's getting close, they're gonna it's like rotten eggs. You smell this sort of almost sulfur smell that comes off of them. So it should be anyone that gets super close is going to start gagging and coughing.
Nice. So what are you going to call this new trick?
Well,
think about it.
It's wall.
Wall. Right. Beautiful. Yeah, it's monosyllabic. It's yes, it's both a noun and a verb. Okay, so exactly. Okay, perfect. That's what happens. And yes, because of the noxious, you get within 5 feet of this thing, at least for you guys, when it's in some type of mode or trick mode that isn't self-contained, shoulder, I guess.
It's just a little cross. Like we have to take a step back too, but it buys us time from this crowd.
True. Now it's still near the saturator. We'll call it that, even though it's the colors. The colors are still flying, like dissipating off of it, but it's still getting sucked into this side of the wall of Rug. So as long as it's close, it can still absorb all this color that's coming out, which is keeps this thing calm.
Okay.
As well as the disco ball. So yes, that works. You guys have a little bit of time, you feel, because again, from the other side, you can see confusion. You see one person get close, they start coughing.
Now, I got two things I want to do real quick.
Go for it.
Betty is up above scouting around outside the wall.
Right.
But also, last session, I did that simulation where I can look at one area for 24 hours. And that was where we were supposed to meet our initial contact.
Right, at the docks.
And it requires an action for me to check it. So I'm just going to, while Betty's getting in position, I'm just going to check there and see what's happening at that spot and what has been happening.
Okay, perfect. I got to get to my notes. Okay, make me get to the notes. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. So you're still going to do a basic roll just to see if you fudge it or get extra, but you will, and it's an int roll, but it's standard. No, sorry. Yeah, it's standard just to see if you do it, so 6 or above, basically. It's a standard, you should be able to do it at will.
Okay, and because it's free, I'm going to spend a level of effort anyway.
Why not? Perfect, 3 or above then. So it's now a simple task for you.
I rolled a 7.
Excellent. That counts. Okay, so the simulation that, is coming in to your brain, and you're seeing 24 hours ahead. Okay, here we go. Perfect.
The writing in the book was kind of vague.
Before or after?
It's 24 hours before or after, or it's just for 24 hours. Anytime you want to check there, you can check it. I didn't know which one that meant.
Actually depends how you want to use it. I mean, it's a once per session thing too, as well. Correct?
No, it's one session to activate it, and then for 24 hours.
I'm sorry.
It's activated, and then it takes another action to check it.
Got it. I mean, once per play session. Correct? Like, I think.
I don't know that it said anything.
Oh, maybe not. Okay. Wow, that's just okay. Well, yeah, tier 3 math magician. Yeah, and yeah, you've got some. Yeah, that's just some really fancy tools. Good. I love it. Okay, so yeah, so what 24-hour period do you want to see? Obviously, you're in the present. Where do you want to slide this 24-hour bar, and what are you looking for?
How long has it been since we were there?
In that alleyway?
In that alleyway where we first started, it was only like an hour, right? But we were supposed to.
Yeah, if that. Oh yeah, not even.
So basically, I'd like to start it when we left there, and then the next 24 hours. So including the time we just spent fighting the Saturator, and as far forward as I can get.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. What you can see, let's see, okay. You can see the Carabinieri, or sorry, not the Carabinieri, the police, the Olbia police, which again seem to be pretty, for the most part, pretty upstanding, nice, friendly, helpful law officers. Again, something you in Manchester are just not used to, but you're seeing a lot of activity. There's some investigation that's happening. The spot where this saturator from the Vurt world was, they've marked off. You have Vurt dogs there, which is always an interesting sight. The kind of Cthulhu style, snouts make great investigators, fantastic investigators. So they're also part of the police force. You do see the only different kind of thing that kind of stands out is you can see that there are several old people, and I mean like in their 80s. They look at least in their 80s. That there's a woman and there's 2 men, and you can see them, coming back and forth. There's usually at least one of them watching what's happening, in different shifts at a time. They're in crowds, sometimes they're walking by, sometimes they pretend to be asleep. But these 3, they're Vecchi. You know exactly who they are because you talk to the other guy. And they're also keeping an eye on it. So those two things are what you notice, that there's an investigation, and they have Vurt dogs out, which means usually they know that there's been a Vurt being or something. It has more than just a regular crime. This has to do with some type of swap, which is huge. Anyway, that's what you see. You don't see anything ending or exploding within that 24-hour period, just a whole bunch of investigation. And then you're back to the present.
And what does Betty see in the immediate area outside the wall?
Oh, yes. So she sees again, these funeral procession, they're talking to each other. There's confusion. They know they can't get through the wall. They're making plans. You can see them trying to figure out how to either go over the wall or around or under, trying to get through. And that's all you see.
Can we toss this thing back in the wall?
Yeah. Rug wall. And Betty was just looking over the wall, correct? For this point?
So then I have a question for Josiah and Rug.
Easy. Yep.
And that's, did you cut me off from getting to the intersection, or did you cut me off from the group?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Rug would have gone in front of the group. So if you were
I was trying to stand between the group and whoever was out there. I'm trying to figure out which side of the wall I'm on.
Between you and the group. So if he would not have cut you off from us, he would have cut you off from the.
Okay.
And I would have. It would have been an announcement. Josiah would have, you would have seen it happening, and I would have. Yeah. If you had run forward, I would have told you to run back because I was clearly doing this.
Yeah, Rug's a consultant of the consultants at this point, almost. Yeah, he knows his team.
He's a subcontractor.
Yeah, perfect. So yes, so where to? You hear murmuring, obviously, but that's...
Do we still have the original Vecchi guy that we were talking to before? He's back on our side of the wall.
Yep, with his hands still there. Yep.
Okay. Can I head back to where he's at?
Yeah, he's right next to you guys. He's been right there the whole time. Absolutely.
Okay. I'll use the bandy stick to push Josiah out of the way as I'm headed there. It's I was going that direction. It's and over to the guy who's on the ground, kind of, tap him in the chest with it to get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
And ask him if he knows of anybody who's gone missing lately. Because if this thing's here, something else isn't. Yeah.
Yes. Roll for it. Okay. Are you intimidating? Are you...
That's basically all I've got. Yeah.
Got it. I say rocket. Yeah. And I'll give also an asset, because there's two. At this point, anytime there's a Robo-Man Shad intimidating and another Robo-Man Shad is visible in that same group, I'm going to give an asset, because the only thing worse than one is two. So, let's say it's difficult, so it drops it down to standard.
Okay. So and I'm trained in intimidation. So.
Okay. It can, so it happens. So, without even having to roll. But no, roll, because again, it's either that 1 or that 19 or 20 or what we're looking at.
18.
Good. Okay. So yes, it works. He'll tell you anything you want. And he says, again, he speaks a little bit of English, thank goodness. And he says, it's from the Vurt. It's from the Vurt. It's from the Vurt. The Vurt world, the Vurt world, the Vurt world. And he's just
grab my little plastic dispenser full of handful of Italian feathers, grab another one and try to get better. No, I know he's from the Vurt, but something else had to be exchanged for him. Has anything weird gone on here recently?
He says it's all the will of the blackbird. It's all the will of the blackbird, and if we disappear, we know where we're going. You can tell. No, he doesn't understand that, even that whole swap, thing. He doesn't realize what you're saying, but he thinks he's very excited. This is coming from the Vurt world, and this is the will of the blackbird, and he knows. He's, it's more than just, age or anything like that. He's fanatical at this point. He loves the idea that this thing is from the Vurt world, and you guys have it. He says it's ours. You guys can control it.
Yeah. Right, we can.
Yeah. Can I simple communicate to Josiah. It's like, I don't know what all he's on about the blackbird, but he seems really into it, and um, you're gonna do a better job of finding that out than I am, I'm sure.
Can we, in the conversation, can we disconnect the missing person from the Vurt thing? Just ask if there's missing people for whoever's going to take a stab at this.
Sure.
Yeah.
We need to.
Well,
get
it might not be a person strictly speaking too.
Right.
Something valuable, but
Mhm.
the idea
But-
that he's all attached to like the idea of like doing what the blackbird says, like that.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the will of the blackbird.
If we can find out
again,
what
he's
that
wearing
means
all
without
black.
pummeling it out of him, because that's all Angel's got. That's
Yeah, he's honestly the awe that he's feeling right now may be mixed with the intimidation that obviously worked. Whatever you guys want to know, he will tell you. But he has never been more excited. This is a Vurt being.
He's excited about this thing on the ground. This weird color thing.
Mhm.
What is it? Why are you so excited about this thing? Doesn't seem that
That's
impressive.
good money if we cut it up.
At this point, he looks at you when you say that, and he says, è sacrilegico, non puoi, and he's going on and on. Of course, what you're understanding is it's sacrilegious. There's no way. How dare you talk about money? This is sacred flesh. This is
I
sacred
grab a
flesh.
piece of the statue I broke and throw it at him.
Can we not beat up the prisoner for a little bit and try to figure out what the fuck he's going on about?
not
Nice.
a prisoner. He's not a prisoner.
He gets hit. He gets
The
hit with the
Vurt
thing
being
as you guys are
prisoner.
discussing. He's just like,
For
yep.
God's sakes, give a man a chance. Let me figure out what the fuck's going on. Hey, he's gripping his head.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, she's rough and tumble. Let me ask you, this thing here, this thing's sacred to you and your people, The actual, what is this thing, like a living color wheel? Living crayon?
Yeah. Do you have the Italian translation feathers?
Yeah, I've got like a 10 pack, so I'm gonna pull one
Yeah.
out, pop it in the
Cool.
mouth.
Perfect. So what you're getting, again, he's speaking Italian, but you're hearing it in perfect English for you. And he's saying, yes, it's sacred. Absolutely, it's a sacred flesh. It's the will of the blackbird.
Thing sacred.
The flesh. He says it's the will of the blackbird, and we cut it into thin slices, and then we can. Every time we get together, we can, we can
This
all
thing's involved in a
partake.
meal to you. It's like Easter Sunday.
Oh.
How is that
Yeah, he
not
says-
sacrilegious?
Yeah, it's transmutation. It is. It's yeah.
I
Yes,
told
it's
you, cut
definitely
it up and it
the will of the
goes for less
blackbird.
money.
I don't know how I feel. I've come to like it. I don't
Sacrilegious.
know how I feel about you cutting them up.
He says thin slices. He says, and sometimes we'll do a thin slice, so thin you can see through it, and we wrap it around a piece of melon, and you get just the perfect time. And we have some
Just right.
spumante.
That's a creature.
Oh, it's wonderful.
You got no right to eat it.
It's going on and on.
Oh, this is.
At this point, he's
Royally
definitely.
here. For some reason, Josiah likes Vurt
Mhm.
creatures. Like now he's got a friend. This is like when someone gets a pet cow and becomes a vegetarian.
There it is.
Well, I seem to have a fucking problem with somebody eating Vurt creatures.
Yeah.
I mentioned not to beat up the prisoner. I think this guy deserves a little bit of beat up. Let's see if we can get this. So this thing, this saturator, just like lying on the ground.
Yep,
me on
got
it.
they got the
Buzz, you got
helmet
the way out of
on
here.
and all.
Buzz, we got the way
The
out of here.
Saturator is
Like Buzz,
What do you guys think?
Buzz's blurb flies. We're like trying to find us an exit. Do we have an exit yet?
They're looking.
back 50 yards.
All right.
Mhm.
Round them up, move them out.
How big is the saturator?
8 feet tall,
Ah,
and it looks like the skin is stony,
so fairly heavy.
and
That takes 2 people.
Is there any? I'm going to try to communicate with it. I just need to convince it to get up and walk on its own. And if I can't,
you'd have to take the helmet off.
I will take my helmet off.
Oh, take its helmet. It's
T-Bone's
Rick
helmet,
Astley.
which is on its
Oh
head.
yeah.
Be careful. That thing is expensive.
Okay, so if we take it off, it might not be soothed by the Rick Astley stuff.
It might be an improvement. I mean, we all know Rick Astley.
Now I'm debating here. I got Rug stopping the crowd. He wants the thing. So that's obviously some type of weird. So this funeral procession with some type of weird religious ceremony. It's like Jesus' body came back to life and everyone decided to have brunch on it.
I mean, yeah, that sounds right.
All right, here goes absolutely nothing. Josiah's going to bend down and just sort of slowly pull the helmet. Like I'm going to try to pull the helmet that, like, if the thing starts freaking out, I can jam it back on its head.
Okay. Make a speed roll just to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to spend effort on it. I'm going to spend 2 levels of effort on it, actually. Do I have? I've got 1 edge.
I'll say this without, just so you're not, because I love the idea of you guys just wasting all the XP. No, just kidding. But this is something you feel like is really a simple task.
Okay.
But you're avoiding the 1, and who knows what a 19 or 20 will do. Okay, safe. Yes, you start to pull it off. The minute it comes right about here, it starts to do this and feel like this and start to yell again, and trying to get its head back up into the light. It looks like it's breathing in this light. It thinks it's eating light. You put it right back down.
Back down. All right, who can carry it?
I have a question. I'm specialized in Vurt lore, and my tier 3 Vurt special ability is edge riding. I'm wondering if it's able that I can communicate with this thing.
Explain. Yeah.
If I can enter a dream, I'm just wondering if I can, through some Vurt connection, just give it the general sense that we have its best interests at heart. If it will do what it says, not anything complex.
Interesting. So you're going to use that as a communication. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is to assume. Sorry, edge riding. I don't have it in front of me. I remember that obviously.
It's just without taking a feather, you can enter the Vurt dream of another character within immediate range. If you do, you're immediately inside the Vurt with them. So it's just some way of connecting to the Vurt without a feather. So I'm wondering if there's some way I can parlay that into not like you reading a novel to them, but just
lick him.
Yeah.
Actually, it is out of the Vurt world right now. So before you spend that point, it would love nothing more than to be in a feather at this point, but it's not, and it's unable to, it seems. So
do we still have a feather with us?
I left all mine back at the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so no.
You're going to take away my bubble popping feather again, aren't you?
Well, how else would you? Now you have the Vurt.
I mean,
the Vurt
you guys
lore.
all have those translation feathers.
As long as there's in a Vurt, I have a fucking real feather. I have I got that Trickle Minds of the Diddy Men feather.
Oh shit.
Well, you do have the Diddy Man feather.
I do. So the question is,
We are the Diddy Men.
do we think Wall Rug is going to be like, we need to get this thing, if we're going to try this, we need to get it somewhere we actually have a chance to do this without being interrupted by fucking quotes.
No, I was just thinking, because edge riding allows me to connect to somebody else's brain that's in the Vurt without using a feather, if I could somehow parlay that into a simple communication. I don't want to go into a feather right now.
Oh, I do.
Right.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, I'm just wondering how we we need to get this thing away from these people. We need to somehow talk to it, or we need to send it back to the Vurt from whence it came.
Right. I'm just trying to see if I can wake it up and see if it'll go along with us. So we don't have to carry this 8-foot guy.
Becky seems like at this point, Becky says, for those of you that are still understanding him,
Yeah, I've still got my translation feather in.
Cool. He's saying, end of the alley, we take a right. We go down, maybe 20, 30 yards, and there's a basement entrance into a safe place from here. Because again, he has his own ways. So if you guys can run 50 yards, take a right, and then get down, you can. There's a safe. He says it's a safe place.
Get down, get down.
All right, who wants to pick up this thing?
I got it. I'm already on
Okay,
top
so
of it.
roll for. You gonna do it by yourself?
I'll take his Winter. If you take his legs, I'll take his shoulders, and I can keep an eye on my helmet. Make sure nobody damages my equipment.
All right.
Let me see what your basic strengths are. Or might
I've
is.
got 17 might.
Damn, that's great. Ooh. Meh. Okay. T-Bone, as you start to try to pick it out, you realize it's honest. It feels like you're lifting bags of concrete, especially by the shoulders. Like you're not going to be able to lift this thing on your own.
Okay.
I can
Winter,
come help take
you
the
have the
shoulders too. Yeah.
Say again?
Engil can come try to take the shoulders too, or
Perfect.
one shoulder, or whatever's going to work.
Oh yeah, T-Bone was only going to take the shoulders, and I was going to take the feet.
I'm no good with the lifting, so I'm just gonna fly above and look around some more.
Yep.
But
Perfect.
yeah, like you can each take one shoulder.
Okay.
Yep. And so between the three of you, you're able to lift. Now, it is very difficult, and to move it all, like this thing is, it's weighs as much as a car. It's 8 feet tall anyway. And again, it's still kind of moving, but it's dead weight, basically. It's so calm. But at least you guys can pick it up. Okay. And again, all the light that it's emitting is still, as it comes out, is being sucked up into this rug wall.
Break
wall
out the
rug.
monoblade. It'll be easier to move if we break it down. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, you guys can lift. Now, what's the plan?
Best plan is the three of you take it where this Avec dude wants to go. I'm gonna stay behind for a second and get Rogue out of here safely, but I'll meet you back there soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Split the party. Go for it. No, it's an alleyway. It's not too much splitting. Okay. So,
I'm gonna let them. They have to turn a corner. I want to wait until they're out of eyesight before I do the next thing I got to do.
Uh-oh.
okay. So the three of you who are carrying are going to make a speed roll. We'll do 2 of them to get to the end of the alley. 50 yards. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do 2. It's demanding. There's just strength rolls. It's sorry.
You said speed.
It's
Are
speed
these
roll.
might rolls?
No. Sorry, not strength. No, these are speed rolls because this is actually
Maneuvering
being able
them.
to carry. Yeah.
Would you say that being trained in balancing would help?
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure.
That's what I thought.
Sure.
How about all movement tasks?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, why not? Why not? For this though, yes. Okay, perfect. So again, it feels kind of demanding anyway. It's like dead weight. It's like bags of concrete, and it's kind of bobbing. So just to hang on to the grip you got and make it halfway down is this first roll, and this is a speed roll from T-Bone, Winter, and Engil.
Can I spend a level of effort?
Sure.
Yeah, I can spend a level of effort, and it's
I'm going to
my
spend
edge.
2 levels of effort.
Okay.
Because trained. Because whatchamacallit? Yes.
Mhm.
If you don't want to damage your helmet by dropping him.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That. It's
Okay.
that word that's not on my character sheet because half the fonts got dropped out. Oh, I rolled a 6, and I'm going to re-roll that.
Wait, no. You already dropped it. 1, correct?
I dropped it 2, and I'm trained in
yeah.
balancing.
So it was demanding. It was so it still stayed it simple for you.
Okay.
So And then Mike, you had Engel by
I
one,
have a
correct?
14. Yeah, I have 14 and a level of effort. So
Okay, so it was, yes, absolutely. Winter,
I've got 14 and I dropped it by 3. Specialized in movement, and then I spent a level of effort.
okay. So if you are basically, by using effort, you guys are kind of auto succeeding, which makes sense at tier 3 with 3, fairly solid might scores. Okay, cool. So that first one, you're halfway down. That's great. Now you start to feel this thing struggle really hard, and you're realizing that because you're now halfway down, the colors are not being absorbed into this wall of rug. It seems like the two things that keep it calm are, thinking it's
and
colors
rug. Okay.
and having this absorbed. So it's now struggling. It's
Can I
about ready to
push some shadow into his wound?
You feel that, yeah, you can try it. Yeah, you can try it as it's struggling. Sure. Try it now. That's just show shadow, right?
Show shadow, 1 might, and I've got the edge to make it free.
Okay. So you do that, it continues to struggle. So that means that it has to be a Vurt. It wants this Vurt darkness more than shadow smoke.
Can we yell for Jack to come back and cover the body with rug?
Rugs. Okay.
You can just have him shift towards us.
Yeah.
Like using like a blanket.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna try to command. So as they're moving, they're running behind me.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to command Rug to I'm
Yep.
gonna do like a beeping truck noise, like
Exactly.
bait.
Exactly. So roll for int. Again, you feel it's a standard task, honestly, because it's a trick that's you just learned and activated. But if you want to drop it, you can.
I got a 12.
Okay, you got it. No problem. Standard was 6. So, so you back up, and it starts getting absorbed, and you guys all realize, okay, you're able to, which sounds so cool, especially with 20-story buildings on either side and just, one side each. Yes, you guys are backing up. It's textbook perfect combat tactics. So that is that. Now everybody's going to roll for the second half of the alleyway, including the int roll.
Struggling anymore?
No. You figured out how to keep it going. So 3 speed rolls and 1 int roll.
I'm gonna burn 2 levels again.
Okay.
And then train, so I'll take it down 3 total.
Okay.
I'm rolling a 17, so I think I'm okay.
Awesome. Got it. Good. Okay, the other 2, y'all?
I got a 19, and I took it down 3.
I got a 19 too.
Okay, so 2 minor effects.
Damn.
Excellent. Let's say one of the minor effects is that you guys are going to be able to get around. No, you know what? With 2 minor effects, let's do this. You guys are not going to have to roll anymore to get around the corner to where you're supposed to go. You guys have a good enough grip to hang on. And between the two of you guys, one at one end, one at the other, you have a good grip. You're solid. So no more rolling to drop the bag of concrete that's grooving to Rick Astley still. Okay.
Don't you let it down.
Oh no. Actually, Buzz, you have access to an action when this is all happening as well, if there's anything specific. Otherwise, you're just kind of running.
What I'm trying to do also is Betty, my eye in the sky, is above the guys with the saturator, while I am actually hovering above Josiah, so that anything that I can communicate between the two, so I can watch both at once and communicate both at once. So I'm just eye in the sky watching out right now.
Nice. I want everybody like to know right now, like whatever tactic you guys have just come up with, you remember it and you name it the whatever, the flying V or whatever the hell you're going to call it, because this is legit. With communication between the two and kind of a wall shield and the ability to, this is a good strategy. Okay.
Tactical retreat.
Yeah, it's a great one. Okay, so with this many things happening, and the int roll, last one for you, Jack, just to continue. It's
I got. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Wait, was it under a 6?
Yes, it was a 2.
Okay.
19.
Excellent. Let's say for the minor effect, I don't know. What do you think for a minor effect?
I like to do something.
You guys are,
when we back up, they're backing up, but this crowd's probably still coming. So I do, as they back up, I'm gonna stop moving and I'm gonna hold my breath and close my eyes and I'm gonna let Rug wash over me because I'm gonna be with the crowd. Those guys need to get to the safe room, but I need to do some grifter shit here.
That's awesome. Let's say from now on, just again, every time the ability or the thing you're trying to do is only accessible through a minor or major effect. If you ever want to walk through rug wall, it's going to be on a minor or major effect. That'll be the only time. So I like that. Okay, you get to do it, and everybody else is backing up. Okay, around, you guys get out to the end of the alley. You can see, Vecchi runs down, takes a right, just like he said, and is running. There's some confused people out on the other side, of course, but it's a clear pathway, and you see him run down about 10, 20 yards and go down into this basement entrance. Well, not necessarily basement, but, underneath a lot of restaurants and things like that where they load up, the supplies and everything. So he pops down there and you guys are able to get there. Unless anybody doesn't want to get there, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just assume that everybody, with the exception of Josiah at the moment, and or Buzz, is going to do this. Is going to bring the saturator down here. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys get down. The three of you guys carrying Winter, Engel, and T-Bone. The three of you guys carrying the saturator. Get there. As you guys are heading down into the basement area, again, this dissipating color is now becoming too far away. Or is Rug sticking? You're having Rug stick with? Is that what you're doing?
Rug's going with them. I'm
no problem.
I'm gonna do something with the crowd once I
got it. Perfect. Okay, so you guys do get down into the basement. The wall, the rug wall, stops at the top of this basement stairs. It's just it's a small, a fairly low ceiling, but a fairly small room for supplies. And there's staircase leading up into probably, you would imagine, a restaurant of some sort. And the color is still connected to this wall up top. So everything's still cool. Josiah, you are in a crowd full of people that have watched this thing wash past you. And they are yelling things in Sicilian, to be quite honest. Sicilian dialect. This is the Ternacria, so they don't even really speak Italian.
Okay. Okay. So, one, I'm activating spin identity.
Okay.
Because I've got a translation feather in my mouthy mouth. And let's see, hang on, where's my other thing? And I got spin, it's going to be spin identity. And I want to use, I'm going to use corporate knowledge. What is one of the larger technology firms local to the area? Can I roll to see if I know that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm out of XP. Does anyone have an XP they can give me to re-roll this one?
Sure.
Ooh, you don't want to keep that one?
No.
All kinds of info.
You got one.
Okay. Okay, I got a 6.
Okay. Okay, that counts. You just have to get it's a standard. Yep, standard is 6.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and you're looking for the biggest corporation in the area?
Just a large-scale technology corporation that would be active in the area that most people would be familiar with.
Got it. Okay, so it's called Armored Carrozza. And yep.
Hold on. Forgive me, everyone. Forgive me, everyone. And what you have seen today here, obviously, is a demonstration of new technology available for Armored Cordon, which will be released into the public shortly. I must warn you, though, that the wall that you saw is very dangerous outside of specific training. I understand the necessity of the being that you took, but unfortunately, the corporation has decided that that being is now property of Armored Cordon. Yes, that is property, intellectual property right owned by Armored Cordon. Now, I understand you may feel some ownership of this, and our lawyers would love to talk to you about it. Please, I'm going to pull out business cards. I'm going to kind of toss them. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Peter, what are you doing?
I want to add to this situation.
Yeah, you're above.
In
fact, wait, before you do that.
Feather? Yeah.
Wait, before you do that, because you'll have to roll for the spin identity anyway. You'll get an asset because Buzz is going to be helping you no matter what in just a second. Okay. But you'll still have to roll just to see if it's a 1 or 19 or 20. It's standard. So
Okay.
roll to see if that long story of being a representative. Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect. Because it was dropped down to simple anyway. Okay, now perfect. So they seem to be buying it, and now the 1-2 punch. Buzz, what are you doing?
So using my edge writing skill to tap into his lucid Italian feather so that I may also speak Italian.
Sure.
Nice.
Sure.
I'm going to present myself as a giant blurb and say, thank you from the corporation that he just named that Pete doesn't remember, but that I'm sure Buzz does.
Armored Cordon.
Armored Carrozza, which is actually, they're, you know, the horse-drawn carriages like we have in like Central Park, or, you know, they have in like Paris or Rome, thing, you know, Rome has a bunch of them too. This is a technology firm that has armored horse-drawn carriages with like the most super high-tech stuff, but they're really shady and into other tech. So yeah, this is...
Okay. So I'm going to float just above Josiah's head and slowly rotate.
Yeah.
Saying, the Armored Cordon Corporation thanks you for your cooperation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they'll buy that. You can tell at this point there's like 3 or 4 of the leaders of this cult, the Trinacria here, the ones who are heading the procession, are not, are still too worried about getting the thing that was inside the coffin they were carrying back, that they still seem to be kind of advancing, because to be quite honest, on paper, they have one goal and they have to. Everybody else, though, all of their 50, plus people are backing off, and they're talking to each other. You guys, there's a separation. Like, they shouldn't be messing, what is this corporation doing, with this, Sicilian-backed, separatist, weird movement, crazy stuff. So, but they're thoroughly confused. The three leaders are continuing to advance, and they're just shaking their head, and they're trying to get close. They can't get past the wall, they can't, get too close to fight because they're small, and you guys are. Oh wait. Wait, there's 3 against. There's just 1. Why don't you roll for intimidation right now as well? It's separate, both of you guys. Whether you're trained in it or not.
Wait. Me as well?
I just got a 1.
Oh. I also have an inability in it, so let's see what happens. I rolled a 12. But...
Okay. Oh, down to 9 then. Oh my gosh. Okay, so neither one wins, and with a crit 1. Okay.
And they start laughing at you.
Yeah. One of these, cult members there, you can see actually has a PDF feather in their mouth and is talking and saying, you can hear mumbling, of course you can understand now, that they say they're from Armacarozza. No, yes, of course not. And he pulls it out and he's looking back and he does this. And the two, at least next to him.
Okay. I'm going to mind punch him as soon as I hear that. Like, mind punch.
Gonna punch and run.
I'm going to just punch him real quick. Be like, I might not look big, but, and then gonna knock him on his ass. And I'm going to simultaneously, I'm not intimidating.
Shit, did I lose it again?
No?
No, you're here.
No,
You're here. You're a little frozy, but we got you.
Yep,
Do something.
all good. Okay, so your mind punch, yeah. I'm just gonna say, yeah, if you're gonna punch and run, is that your?
I'm gonna punch and wait a second. I'm gonna punch him, and then I'm gonna see, because there's only three that I see that are actively coming at me.
Okay, so let's pause right before the mind punch there and go to the basement room here where you three have brought the saturator down, and Becky's there as well, and then we'll cut right back and forth, even though you guys are only like 20 yards away from each other, still. Okay, you're in this small room. It's supposedly a safe place. What do you guys? The Vecchi is telling you to put the sacred being down. That the will of the blackbird, is that we were so close to this place to begin with. What fortune? He's a fanatic, sure.
Is there a light source in the room?
Yeah, just basic like basement, light. So
based on what we've seen, is it better to have the light on or off if we take the helmet off?
It's still emitting a crazy amount of light, of colored light everywhere,
Right,
but it's being
light
sucked
getting
up.
back, so then we would turn the light on as we take the helmet off, right?
It's a theory.
Okay, that's my theory.
Got it.
What do we
I
think?
need some more targeted light than just a room light, because he was out in the.
Yeah.
Was it dark out? I don't think it was.
Actually, I'll you again, because of the Vurt knowledge, you also realize that it's more colors that they go after. It's not light, so it has to do with color, eating color, consuming. That's why the light's inside the helmet. It thinks it's consuming color because it's just constant color bouncing off, going right into its mouth. It's like, got it. That's motive 1 is done. The pain of it going out and just being kind of in a rage is being assuaged by the rug wall here. So those two motives filled or negated is fine. So you would realize at least that much, that the lights inside the helmet are sustaining it, and it's less about light than
I just really want my helmet back.
I say just pull it off. See what happens.
Oh, can we tie him up first? In a nice way.
Yeah. You're gonna have to search around. I mean, you probably could, but do a search. Yeah, everybody have to search.
I'm a bounty hunter. I have things to tie people up with.
You have zip ties and stuff.
I'm trained in search. But
okay.
Yeah.
So how about a search? And so zip ties for sure. Although this thing is damn strong, so even you're wondering, most of what you're carrying on you, whether that works or not. Search if you're going to. What about you, Mike? What are you going to have Engel? Gonna do a search, or you also have? Oh, you don't hunt. You're not hunt smarts, so no, you'd have to search as well.
Plugs in. I'm a driver usually.
Mm-hmm.
I can look around too. I think the thing that concerns me is that we're gonna set him down, and this guy's gonna try to break out the vegetable peeler to start taking slices off him.
I know we're gonna keep that guy away from him.
It's like the best of pure
Yeah, he sacred bird flesh.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, raw drug is a good time, but
No.
It is the will of the blackbird. Yeah.
I liked this guy last time. This time, not so much.
Yes. So what'd you roll for? You're trained in search as well, or?
I am, yes.
Okay. So it's demanding, but if you're trained, it drops it down. Okay. So what'd you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Yep. Okay. So you're looking around. You just.
Okay, reroll.
Yeah, you can reroll.
Okay.
Then an XP.
Just did 11.
Yep. Okay. So you do find. It looks like it's cable for for some AV something, whether it's a security system that whatever, but it's wire cord, and you find a length of it enough to wrap at least one side, legs if you wanted to or something, but maybe 20 feet of it's decent. It's pretty decent.
Come worse.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah. And Engel, did you do a search? Sorry.
I'll spend a level of effort here.
Okay.
And do a search.
Oh wait,
and...
because you're spending effort because you already searched?
No, because I hadn't searched yet, and my intellect is not great, and I'm not trained in search, so I was trying to,
Okay, so because you're not spending XP or anything for it. This is just auto.
No, this was just me trying to use a level of effort by default and failing miserably and getting a 4. So.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that the majority of you, 2 or 3 of you, have the tools or the know-how to do what you want to do. So between the zip ties and the other stuff that you have, reinforced by what T-Bone brings back, you guys feel that is best. You know what? Your bounty hunter sense tells you this is solid. This is solid. Your bounty hunter
sense is tingling.
Tingle, tingle. Yeah. So yes. Okay. So that is that. Now let's go cut back to the alleyway here, and we've got again. Totally unconvinced the 3 leaders of this group. All of them again are wearing hoods and things like that. The guy in the front has kind of a curly mustache, which is super cool. The kind of the super Italian style. You expect to almost cartoonish Mario style. He's also got wild, like crazy eyebrows or something. He just looks about as Sardinian as possible, trust me. They're awesome, they're wonderful, but they're often very short. So all of them are coming towards you. You can't really see too well under the hoods of the others, but they're also, they're unconvinced. The crowd is still, they bought the story. They definitely bought your Armored Carrozza story, but right now, the leaders aren't having it. So what do you guys have?
Middle leader, mind punch, and I'm spending some intellect points so it's normally 4. I'm going to take that up to a 6. 6 points of damage, mind punch.
Got it, okay.
And I am backing up his mind punch with a Z-point burst grenade behind it.
Oh. Okay, good. Okay, so roll for that, both you guys.
I got a 14 for the mind punch.
Got it.
I'm never taking you guys to see my grandparents.
Cool. I have a 5, but I have an asset to ranged.
You said you got a 5?
Yeah. But it's a ranged attack. I have an asset to it. I just want to shoot it behind.
Okay. So you're just drop. Okay. Are you trying to do a specific spot, or are you literally just dropping it behind them?
I'm trying to drop it. Basically, he's punching the first guy. I'm dropping a grenade behind that guy, so it hits that guy and then the people behind him, but not Josiah.
Okay, perfect. Yes, and you even with an asset, did you want to re-roll or no?
If that doesn't make it, yes, I will re-roll.
Okay.
Re-roll.
17.
Excellent, you got it. Okay. So yes, and again, I should mention the Trinacria are not the 80-year-olds. 80-year-olds are the Vecchi. So you guys are on the Vecchi side, but the guys coming towards you are and all the cult, the procession people are all different ages and mixed, modes and all that. So anyway, yes. So what does Mind Punch do again? How much damage? You said 6?
6.
Shit, that's good. Okay, he flies back. He's got no. He's pretty weak. He's only wearing robes, and he only has his fanaticism to protect him, to be quite honest. Let's take that. And now we have the area of effect explosion behind. Now, what does that look like in Mathemagic terms?
Z point burst does 2 points damage to everybody in the immediate area.
Okay.
But it's just a blast right there. So basically, when Mind Punch sends the guy hurtling backwards, it's probably gonna land like right in front of him and just push him a little farther, but then also hit everybody around him.
Got it. Okay. Because of the area, it is not going to hit any of the people at the end, still at the end of the alley that are confused and bought your story, but it absolutely hits the other two. It hits all 3 of these at once. So the one guy is flying back. The 2 on the side there are also, they're seeing this happen, and that goes off for 2 damage. The guy in the middle is down and he's not moving. It looks like he's still breathing, but he's not moving. The other 2 are knocked to the ground. One hits their knees and falls down to the side in the fetal position. The other one just goes straight back in total surprise and knocks their head. So the leaders are all down in this particular moment. So now that it's my turn, I got no turns. I have to wait for all of them to get up next round. So
Andiamo, Josiah, via.
So you guys rejoining the party?
Do the 2 of us? Yes, I'm gonna book it.
Yeah, I'm following Josiah.
So we need to run. As I'm running and approaching Rug, I need to tell him to drop for a moment because I can't run through him, and then he needs to come back up because we still need the safety in case they follow. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, I'm booking.
Okay, so
and
now
from Crossa.
You guys again take the right. You can actually see Rug. I call him Wall now. You can see Rug in wall form in front of the exact entrance, so you guys know where to go, which it was concerned about, which is why it stayed up there. To be quite honest, didn't want to lose you, good buddy. And so it kind of shakes in happiness when it sees you, and you guys are coming back, and and you're able to get down and get in and close the door before anybody is getting to you. The Vecchi closes it, and again, he's super excited, that of what's been happening in here. And again, you guys can see that the others here have just tied up the saturator, and you guys are all in the same room now.
So,
Fine.
quick note. Figured out to get us in here. Don't really have a plan for getting us out.
So he's like usual.
Team?
Yeah.
Perhaps
Standard.
we should plan better in the future.
Nah.
Yeah, that assumes this was more of a thing than a plan, wasn't it?
It is 28 to 34% of plan.
Better than our usual percentage, I have to admit.
It was a lot of a plan, but
It's better than the Boomers did.
It's not much of plan, but there's plan.
Even before, at this moment, down the stairs, again, what you're thinking must go up into the restaurant, above. There's only one, old staircase kind of leading up. Doorway opens, and you can see someone peeking down wearing the same, same black clothing and everything. But she's got, her hair in a, really grandmotherly cut, white. She's got, big earrings, and, she looks super sweet from like here to here, absolutely dear. Like she'd bake you cookies and, listen to all your problems. From here down, she looks like a you know, like
Yeah.
she's ready to just throw
She's
down.
dressed. Oh, good. The butcher's arrived.
She's looking like she sees us.
Yes, and she sees her other friend Becky. You know, they're definitely part of the same group, and she's excited. She closed the door behind her, and she gives kind of like the all clear nod. In other words, you know, this is their hideout. It's one of their hideout places. So she's given the all clear nod that at least no one's coming from above, and you know, making sure you guys are in a safe spot.
Hang on. So, Becky, question. You seem very excited.
They both answer yes, yes.
But we just stole your sacred item. So why so happy? What's your plan here? What's your play?
Their plan is
You're not eating this
lunch.
thing.
Now this is remember the Trinacria were the ones who they're the ones who put the not the Trinacria, the ones who put the not amulet, what am I trying to call it? The statuette there, the jade in there that started all of this. You know, how did that go down? Whose pocket was that again?
Oh, it was mine.
Winter, yeah.
Okay, and who put it in there?
Some random dude off the street just walked
Like-
past and handed it to me and said, "Good luck."
Rando Cardrizian.
Yeah.
Right. So you're guessing at this point after all this transpired, you know, that was, you know, this is maybe even a third group, or there's some offshoot group of the Trinacria, but they weren't, you know, over 80, so they weren't Becky. So yeah, they don't really, just a reminder, like they don't, you can ask, but you know, the minute you start talking about the statuette, you know, they're looking like they're not sure. So just to remind us.
Okay, so we've got Vurt-like creature here. We've got a safe space. We've got two people who apparently think this thing's a goddamn buffet.
But keep in mind also that the idea that we wanted to sell it was sacrilege, except they want to eat it, and that's cool. That's fucked up.
Yes.
Can we just send it back somehow? Like how'd you guys get this thing out of the Vurt? How'd you get it out?
Oh, here's an idea. Why don't we take it into the Vurt and see if we can make it stay there?
A valid idea.
Somebody real comes out.
I'm gonna pull out my Diddyman feather.
I'm down.
Oh god, we can feed the Diddyman to it.
Oh,
We're gonna go in.
oh, I don't think I have
all those
image
brightly
uploaded
colored
yet.
outfits. It'll be great.
I mean, I know this sounds vaguely out of character, but keep in mind I'm in Dogman Vurt and I haven't been in a feather for what, like 10 sessions? We need to do this.
Yeah.
Mind that two of us are Roboman shads and we ate feathers.
Well,
That's
such
for you.
yeah.
Out of a group of wow. Okay, so perfect. Okay, so you guys are in a safe spot. You know, you literally have trip sitters, guards at each entry. If you guys all want to jump in, you know, whether you do or not. Yeah, if you guys want to go get Verdi with it.
I have a question. I was going to send Betty out the safe door to go outside and look outside the building and check the other door. But I was just curious, if I go into the Vurt, my blurbs don't follow me. But while I'm in the Vurt, can I still see what my blurb would see, or am I completely cut off from the world?
Cut off, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although that sounds like a tier 4 or 5 or whatever skill, that would be a good one to construct for sure.
Do we know anything, like I have Vertology, do I know anything about whether or not the Diddyman feather might have like valuable things that we could take back to trigger an exchange?
Yeah, yes. Roll for just a regular int roll. It's I'm gonna say simple because you have Vurt knowledge. I just want to make sure you don't get a 1.
I'm also specialized in Vurt lore. I would like to make the same roll.
Do it.
16.
Got it. Good.
I rolled a 12, but I'm specialized.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So each of you, so what's your ask specific? Let's start with you, Rob.
Is there loot in this feather
In the
that we
Diddyman
can
feather.
use to trigger an exchange and leave him there? Because it's
Uh,
better than I mean, ideally you want to put him back in his original feather, but this might
Well,
be
he's-
fine. Also, it sounds like this is going to be a bright as hell, like Technicolor feather with puppets, and it might really like that diet. So
Is the Diddyman feather a black feather?
Yes, I can't, let me see if it's maybe black. I'm pretty sure it's a black feather. I know it's at least a black feather, maybe a hybrid.
Okay. Just
A
like
hybrid
we
with
can actually
what?
maybe exchange things. So okay.
Right. Yeah. As far as you guys, I think. Well, you can roll for it. Let me look through my notes. Okay. Yeah. Didn't you? I believe you guys already. It looks like a black feather, but I don't know if you guys have identified it specifically or not.
we got the title at some point, so I think
Yeah.
we have identified it.
Yeah. So it's a black feather. Yes. Which means that you should be able to, you know, jerk out and.
Do I know anything about what's
There's
valuable
no
in
yellow
there?
on it, right?
Sorry.
There's no yellow on it, right?
Doesn't look like it. And I have to say that with everything, just because that way no one ever knows if I'm trying to drop hints or not. So even if you guys pick up a blue feather and ask if it has yellow, and I'll say it doesn't look like it. So that'll be my standard. You can try to further identify it if you want, but that would take like one of these
I
rolls.
say we just stick the feather in its mouth and then kill its body. See what comes out.
Does that work?
I love you're sticking so to your magic sentence. It's perfect. Yes.
I'm just gonna glare at you with every single eye roll, like 4 eye rolls.
What? It would work.
Yeah.
Something
So
got traded.
and so would firing you and replacing you would work too.
You really want me for your enemy?
We're not really in a
No.
position to be firing and hiring people, anyone. We're in a strange country in a basement. I'm not sure we can get a LinkedIn post up in time to replace us. So let's all calm down.
Yes. Now
I am calm. I just think it's an excellent suggestion.
the Diddymen, the treacle mines of the Diddymen is actually known as one of the most rare and lucrative and terrifying feathers maybe ever. At least word around the streets, it's super. But yeah, there have been many game cat issues about what this may or may not hold and what people may or may not be able to bring back. But as far as mechanisms of exchange, again, that's all such high level stuff that it's possible. And
I love this plan. I'm happy to be a part of it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
Which plan are you happy to be a part of? So let's go into the feather, or let's just stick it in the feather and kill it.
No, let's go into it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring a notepad and a pen with me. I'm gonna take as many notes as I can, and later on sell this information on the feather on how to win.
Yep. You. That sounds like a plan.
Alright,
now,
so
who else is going to? Pete, you're going to do a Vurt roll.
Pop into this feather. You're gonna like jab us in the one of us. Rug will stay behind. I'm gonna ask Rug to be our.
I can also tell Betty to guard, and she'll just guard until I tell her to do something else. And she actually has a weapon now.
Okay, then a plan has been formed.
So you guys are in a safe spot with 2 trip sitters that are being, babysat by pets. You feel pretty comfy that, most likely, nothing's going to sneak up on you when you guys are out in the real world where you're drooling and frolicking about the treacle mines in your mind. Perfect. So Pete, you did a Vurt roll too. What was you want to do a Vurt roll? What was your specific ask?
Oh,
Was there anything
backing up,
specific or?
I was just backing up what Rob was looking at, but he nailed it, so it's fine.
Well, perfect. Good. Okay, and again, you also know that this is Treacle Mines of the Ditty Men. It is a black feather. You've read several of these reviews, and those of you with Vurt knowledge, again, because it's part of a jingle that, again, a lot of people have heard in the streets from time to time, especially back in the day. But this particular version of the song names the different people, the different ditty men, and what they, how they, take care of their problems in ditty land. And so those of you with Vurt knowledge.
Oh, this could be so bad.
Yeah. Yes. This is what everybody knows about it. Now I'll give you this knowledge. Only it'll occur to you only as you take the feather. That's what I'll say. So if you don't take the feather, I'm not going to give you this knowledge, but so that you don't be like, wait, hold on, because this is a good list. Okay, so is everybody taking the feather?
I am.
I will. I'm going to take my action recovery roll before we enter the feather so that I'm back up to full.
Smart.
Oh,
Right,
Smart.
good call.
In fact, I'm going to say
I'm going to do the same. Like I have a whole. I am down.
Beautiful.
So
yeah, I'll say this again, because this is actually, this is going to be the perfect time to start, end and start the next session. What we'll do is you guys do have time. Let's do this. You guys do have time, if you want, to do a full recovery, the full recovery. You guys want to hang out in a basement in the middle of Olbia, get fed, wonderful, Sardinian treats by, one of your trip sitters. You can do that for a day.
absolutely. I'm down to one. I was down to one in my intellect pool, so we absolutely need a long rest.
Oh,
Okay. Consider
Wow.
it.
if we do that, I'm going to try and add a stinger to the other blurb so they can both do some damage.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Perfect. You're going to get, before we do that, also, Rob, I think T-Bone gets one paranoid, truth per session.
Can it be a useful one for once?
It's been nothing but useful. Yeah, that's it. Let's go with here. I'm actually going to give it to you. You can in chat here. Okay. So yes, you have a thought. Oh, this is your thought. Anyway, so everybody's taking the feather, right? So
So Winter is seriously considering when she's going last, and when she takes the feather, she'll just stick it in that guy's mouth first, and then stab him, and then put it in her mouth.
Wait, what?
let's say that again.
Stab him with the feather or with something else?
With my monoblade.
Oh.
Her plan is to stab the Vurt creature and kill it before as it gets into the Vurt. So no.
But nobody will know because we'll all appear in the Vurt.
I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, as I see you take the feather, are you last?
I went last.
Okay, and then I say, oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure this is a black yellow, but we should be fine.
And fade to black there for now. And yes, those of you that do again remember, all of a sudden now that the theme song is coming up in your head, and it's we are the Ditty Men, it goes on, and it gets more and more like 90s like Massive Attack, absolute, just like like Portishead, like absolute old school.
Oh God, why did I?
Good old English, strong English feather, and you can feel yourselves, all of you guys falling. Falling down. It's a falling sensation. It's the sound of flapping bird wings, deafening for a bit, and then dissipating, and then you're actually falling towards this, looks almost like it's quilted landscape coming up. Real simple, really bright colors, like overly saturated colors. I'm guessing you gave the feather to the saturator as well? That was part of it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. The feather, yes, it is falling with you guys, and you can see it now. And it looks like this. Again.
Awesome.
Back to its normal. It does not have the helmet on it. Your last, feeling in the real world as you tried to stab is that your blade broke on its stone skin. I mean, it's more than stone. This is something that, if anybody had tried to take a blade at it during combat, would find that not happening. Bladed weapons
I'm gonna need a new one.
So yeah.
Now you're in a feather without a knife.
Oh no.
Why are you ha-haing that? We want her to have a knife.
Karma. It's a karma thing.
Yes, and so again, let's have each of you go down the list and repeat what one of these names that you remember. The Ditty Men are the terrifying elder gods of this saturated patchwork English folk horror landscape, and each of them represents or presents itself as a different real world mode of being, even though they're all Vurt creatures. But that's kind of the thing. So they're dressed, you know what they're like. But now, as the names start going down as part of the theme song, and you remember, let's have each of you guys read this list if you can see it in our Zoom chat there. And so, what do you guys? So a name and what they are. Let's go through them.
I was going on in the Twitch chat before about Mick the Marmalizer, so
yes, absolutely.
Definitely he will stick in my mind till the end of days. Mick
Perfect.
The Marmalizer,
and what is Mick?
Man.
And Mick the Marmalizer is in this feather. What is he proud of being, even though he's not technically
he's a dog man here. Yeah.
Yep. Mick the Marmalizer is a dog man. Okay, and next up
is he still going to be 1'7" tall with the 6-inch shillelagh though? That's the big
question. Exactly what he is. What all of them are. They're all that tall. But yes. Next, what's next on the list? I love the names. I want you guys to say it because I don't want to have to say these names.
Yeah, why Dickie, Mick, and Titch? Where's Dave D and Dozy?
Titch is there.
No, just Dave D, Dozy, Dickie, Mick, and Titch was the group that had Xanadu and.
Oh.
Sorry, I just saw Dickie, Mick, and Titch as the first three guys. I thought that was a reference to that.
Oh no, I didn't know. No. This is actually just from the actual Ditty Men. They had a show. Oh God, the real world, our real world background on the Ditty Men is almost as terrifying as his feather. Yeah, but it's a Manchester absolute staple. They, people our age or a little bit older actually grew up with the Ditty Men. So we've got what's the next one?
Smarty Artie.
Yep, Smarty Artie what is he?
He's a shadow man.
Nice. Who's next?
Lil Evan is a dog man, and I'm gonna say he's 7 foot tall.
Yep. Cool. Nice. We've also, I'll throw in two. So Nigel Ponsonby.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nigel. Yes, of course. Nigel Ponsonby Small Piece. He's got a hyphenated name. I don't know why, but he's a robo-shad, supposedly.
Fakey shad.
Yep. So who else?
Hamish McDiddy, a shadow man.
Yep. Okay.
Ben Tiny Ween Winston, the dog man.
Tiny Ween. I'm not making it up. That's why I'm having you guys say it, so you don't think it's my This is straight out of our real world. So, yep. So all the way down, it's Dickie Mint, the Shadow Man, Mick the Marmalizer, the Dog Man, Stephen Titch Doyle, the Robo Shad, Little Evan, the Dog Man, Hamish McDiddy, the Shadow Man, Nigel Ponsonby Smallpiece, the Robo Shad, Nicky Nugget, the Dog Man, Ben Tiny Ween Winston, the Dog Man, Sid Short, the Robo Shad, and Smarty Arty, the Shadow Man. And those are the Diddy Men, the Diddy Men. And as you guys are falling, that's when the fade out is. And yes, everybody does hear loud and clear from T-Bone the Disco Spider as you guys are falling very clearly. What did you say again? We'll have that be.
I'm pretty sure it's a black yellow, but we'll be fine.
Okay.
So we'll
the
end
Diddy
there.
Men, the Diddy Men, and they come from Naughty Ash. Okay.
They come from Naughty Ash Hole originally. Truly, Naughty Ash Hole. Like, I mean, I'm not up for censorship.
How did the BBC not catch this?
Look at these
I mean,
names.
It's
Ted,
just
it's Todd.
legend.
Yep, Ken. Was it Ken Todd or the
Ken
Diddy
Todd,
Man?
yeah.
Yes, absolute. I definitely suggest that everybody do their own real world research on Ken Dodd's Diddy Men. Oh my God, it's just English folk horror to the most. You know.
Are we gonna have artwork next session?
Oh yeah. Oh, we certainly are. Yes. Cool. So that's it. You guys are falling. It fades out. The theme song is blasting the different names and the different things about them. You guys are falling towards this really soft-looking patchwork field, and there's a farmhouse over there, and there's looks like maybe a little tiny town over there, and a windmill and
A tiny town.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Good. And we'll end it there. I'm glad you guys are in a feather again. Perfect.
Weird to play a character that likes feathers.
Yep. You have a saturator on your team. I don't think right now he's on your team. Yeah, that was unexpected. That's not part of my notes.
I think we'll just guide him somewhere, aim him in a certain direction, take the helmet off, and step away. See what happens.
Nice.
But that's my plan.
Does the helmet come into the feather with us? That's the question.
Oh no, sorry. He does not have the helmet on at all, and he's not raging at you guys. He's fallen, and he's just happy to be back in the Vurt world, I think. But you're not getting vibe like as you're falling that he wants to tear you apart anymore. So you may have a buddy.
Well, let's find out.
Yep.
So bad.
All right.
Cool.
2 weeks from now.
All right. Perfect. So we'll pick it up again a week after in 2 weeks, and you guys will be falling right into the treacle mines of the Diddy Men.
I have
Okay.
regrets.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Well, we'll see everybody
I
then,
almost-
I guess.
I almost believe you, Jack. Almost.
It's weird for me. It's literally hard for me to consider a character who'd like enjoy a feather, but that's what I'm playing this time.
You're gonna love it.
I'm doing the opposite. My last character loved feathers, and now I'm
Yep.
just like, God, I hate you all.
Nice. Cool. Well, we'll pick it up then, and yeah, catch you guys next time.
Cool.
All right.
See you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.